Hey Bulldogs, it's Mrs. Harris, your reading coach. As you know, my favorite thing to do is reading. And what better month to celebrate reading than February? I have some activities planned for you this month to celebrate reading. Each week, I'm going to send your class a read aloud for you to listen to just for fun. Then I have a challenge for you in your class. If you and your class do my simple little challenge, your class can be entered into a drawing to win a class treat. I hope you have fun listening to some of my favorite stories, just for the love of reading. This week's story is called The Paper Bag Princess. Now you're probably thinking, ugh, another fairy tale? Actually, the main character in this story, Elizabeth, she's not your typical princess. Listen and find out why. The Paper Bag Princess, story by Robert Munch, art by Michael Marchenko. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess, I love to eat princesses. But I've already eaten a whole castle today. I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses. But I have already eaten a whole castle today. I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait!" shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds?" "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again!" So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you're wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." They didn't get married after all. I told you Elizabeth wasn't your typical princess. So here's my challenge for you. What else could Elizabeth have used after her clothes were burnt up instead of a paper bag? Be creative. What do you think? Imagine that Elizabeth could find instead of a paper bag. Have your teacher write your class idea on the whiteboard. Make up a new title. Instead of the paper bag princess, it could be the, what could you come up with? Take a picture with your class and send it to me to be entered into a drawing to win a class treat. Send it to me by next Tuesday, and I'll draw a winner on Wednesday. Happy reading!